Hello my dear friends! In today's video we'll review chapter 1.2 Types of Business Entities. Let's start with a major distinction, the private and the public sector. The private sector is made up of businesses owned by individuals or private or organization aiming to make a profit. For example, it can be restaurants, startups, or even multinational giants like Apple. However, the public sector includes only government-owned entities like public hospitals, national railways, and education systems. Now let's dive into types of business ownership in the private sector. First one is sole trader. A sole trader is a business owned by a single person. It can get all the profits, but they also carry unlimited liabilities. It is responsible for any debts of the business. It means if the business fails, their personal assets are at risks. Second one is partnership. A partnership is when two or more people run a business together. They share profits and responsibility. Also, there is a deed of partnership that outlines who does what, stating their responsibilities, voting, rights, and how the profits are to be shared between the owners. Third one is limited companies, which are divided into private limited company and public limited company. In the private limited company, shares are held privately, often by family and friends. You cannot buy their shares on a stock exchange market. Don't forget that there are two important documents the owners must submit. First one is Memorandum of Association. It can be name, address, share capital, and etc. And the second one is Articles of Association, where there is duties of directors, voting rights, procedures for the annual general meeting. However, in the public limited company, shares are sold to the public via the stock market or stock exchange market, place for buying and selling shares in publicly held companies. Whenever the financial results can be, they must publish annual reports to everybody and follow strict regulations. In both cases, owners, shareholders, enjoy limited liability because they can only lose what they invest, no more. Now let's talk about social enterprises. These are businesses that aim to make a positive side in society. Social enterprise is an organization that tries to improve communities, the environment, and human well-being rather than focus on profits. For example, for-profit social enterprise aim to make money and do good. They try to do profit and make positive externality for society. In private sector company, it can be a coffee company that employs homeless people, for example. In public sector companies, it can be state-owned banks or airlines. However, cooperative is something different. It is owned and run by members, for example, workers of a firm or regular customers of a store. So everyone gets a vote and profits are shared fairly. Non-profit social enterprises, they do not aim to make a profit at all. Instead, any money earned is reinvested into social missions. So think globally. For example, UNICEF or World Vision. They can be funded by donation, grants, or even government support. Please don't confuse public limited companies with public sector companies. Public limited companies are in the private sector and traded on stock markets, where public sector companies are government-owned companies. Let's briefly recap. Sole traders are simple but risky. Partnerships, shared effort and share risk. Private limited companies, private ownership and limited shares. What for public limited companies? Public tradings and complex. Social enterprise, business with a social goal and mission. Non-governmental organization, no profit, just purpose. This is the end of 1.2 types of business entities. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned and subscribe. Bye bye.